These ghosts standing behind me have been watching over Rhyolite for the past 40 years. But the real ghost, the ones who built this place from a tent city up to a town that had a bank, a school, a train station, and a 3-story building with Italian floor marbling. And in just a few years, it all disappeared. Welcome to episode 2 of Beyond the Neon. Let's go look at Rhyolite and see what happened. Tom Kelly built this thing out of over 50,000 beer bottles. He used beer bottles because lumber was very scarce in a lot of places in the West. And one thing that there was not a limited resource of was beer bottles and milk bottles. And so they would go through and collect all the bottles around town, and this is how they would build their house. 50,000 bottles. This was the Cook Bank. It was open. They started building it in 1907. And in the same year, they went through a financial crisis referred to as the Knickerbocker crisis, which caused banks across the country to go bankrupt. And by 1910, this bank was shut down. And if you look at the top of the building, you can actually see some of the original brickwork from when it was first built. And here we have the famous Rhyolite train station. This train station was built starting in 1907 for a cost of, I believe it was $250,000 or $350,000, which in today's equivalency would make it about a $3.5 million building. The railroad was completed in 1908, around the same time that Rhyolite began its decline. By 1910, everybody was starting to leave, and shortly after, the town was deserted. In the 1920s, Rhyolite gained a little bit of tourism as a desert town, and they changed the train station into a casino, and that started in 1937. And then in the 1960s, the buildings changed hand again, and it was turned into a museum, but now, as you can see, it's completely shut down. And here we have the Overbury building. This was a building built by a gentleman by the name of John Overbury, who came here from New Jersey in 1902, and he made a lot of money when the mine was operational out here. This building was originally supposed to cost between $45,000 and $60,000 back in the day to create. Once the Cook Bank began construction and Mr. Overbury realized it was going to be a 3-story bank, he turned his building into a 3-story building as well to make sure that it was the tallest building in Rhyolite. It was actually one of the first general purpose buildings in Rhyolite and the largest stone building in the entire town. It was equipped with shutters, a fire suppression system, and private bathrooms. This building was also the first stock brokerage firm, the first National Bank of Rhyolite, a dentist, and attorney's offices. It was abandoned in 1910, and much of it was dismantled by 1924. And this is the Porter Brothers building. They had originally bought a lot on Main Street in 1905 and operated out of a canvas tent, but they soon ran out of room because they were doing so good in selling their mercantiles. And so they bought a lot on Golden Street, which is this one here. In 1906, this was the Christmas building. They had displays that they put up that rivaled even some of the biggest department stores around the world. But just like every other building, by 1910, the business had closed down. One of the brothers, Hiram, actually stayed on as the town's postmaster until the post office closed down in 1919. So this is the second schoolhouse that was actually built in Rhyolite. And the first school was built in 1906 and had 26 students. And by 1 year later, there was 225 students that were enrolled. So they realized that they needed a bigger schoolhouse to take care of all the children. And so in 1907, construction of this schoolhouse began. It cost $20,000 in those times. And by 1910, the school had shut down because everybody had moved away. So you have this schoolhouse. You've got the Cook Bank, and you've got the train station. Those three buildings alone, it cost in today's money over $9 million. And all three were built and stopped use within 3 years. That $20,000 note, bank loan, that was given to the town of Rhyolite was actually transferred over to the city of Beatty once Rhyolite went under, and they finally paid off the note in 1978. Rhyolite went from 2 guys with a gold pan to a city of thousands with electric lights, a stock exchange, and an opera house, all in about 3 years. And then the panic of 1907 hit. The gold ran out, and by 1920, only 14 people were left. Millions of dollars poured into concrete, marble, and steel, and the desert took almost all of it back. That's the real story out here. It's not about the gold. It's about how fast something built to last forever can just stop existing. This has been a long journey ahead. Thank you for coming along on my journey. My name is Steve. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day, folks.